Do you want to explain to them, Killer Bee, what was going on during that time?
Okay, so yeah, so basically he had an SEC issued phone, right? And so the text messages on this thing go missing from October 22 to September 23. Um, and they were erased in September 23. And the Inspector General, the Office of the Inspector General of the SEC ruled it basically, some kind of IT error. Um, So now what was happening around then? Well, October 22, roughly, um, I wouldn't say around then, but I guess March of that year or 23. So basically, yeah, it's early 22. Um, yeah, sorry, not 23. So a lot of stuff that was happening in the winter time. It was called crypto winter, right? You had starting off with like the FTX collapse. Well, that's not starting off. I mean, there was other things going on, right? There was oh Lord,
I think it
the
was that
yeah.
it started off with the Luna collapse happened, and there was, I think
Well,
that's when like Choke Points 2.0 was starting, sort of, right?
it was October 22. Um,
Hmm.
a record surge in crypto hacks, right? Let me see. It was like 718 million um, dollars basically stolen.
Yeah.
So, and it was like the biggest month for crypto thefts of that year. Then you had November was the FTX collapse, um, and that was what they filed for bankruptcy. Right,
Those
March
banks
of
that were.
March of 23. There was a couple of banks that were like crypto friendly, and they collapsed. This was around the time the USDC stablecoin was depegged to like 88 cents. And that had to do with like Silicon Valley Bank, because they had, I guess they had like 3 billion or something in reserves.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just super weird. It's just weird how I just wonder why now? Like why is this information coming out now too, that his messages were all deleted? It's just an entire year's worth of messages. And just knowing how hard the SEC was attacking the crypto industry, but just in general, not providing any clarity. Um, when they were asking for clarity and then going and finding them, and just going after these companies and banks or anybody. And it was just a whole out attack.
You would ask like who was inquiring about it.
Mhm.
So I did find out there was, let's see, there was about three representatives: Patrick McHenry, Jim Jordan, and James Comer.
Mhm.
They had sent letters to Gensler, pressing him on compliance with federal record keeping and off-channel communications, such as texts and other messages. So there were also FOIA requests. I found out, I believe, in 2024. But with FOIA requests, I don't think you don't always get the name of the requester. Um, and then the Office of Information Technology actually notified the Inspector General, or the Office of the Inspector General, in January 2024, and that basically prompted the special review, and that's when the Inspector General ruled basically no foul play. It was
Mhm.
an IT error. Everything's fine. It was just a whole bunch of bureaucratic, like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and there was just miscommunication, and we all fucked up, and it was no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how is that a coincidence, right? It's like obviously we all don't believe that. It's not just some mistake or just Gary Gensler happened to have his messages deleted. It's just and during that time, during the time where he was in charge of the SEC that was attacking the entire industry. So there is something going on, obviously, and it's interesting because we probably will never find out why. I think, unless you guys think anything else about that. Um, but Pleb, if you want to speak, you came up. If you got something to say about that.
Goodies.
Uh,
Hi,
Hello.
Flip.
Not so much about what you were just speaking about. I just heard about the SEC. You mentioned the SEC attack in the crypto industry.
Hmm.
I was just thinking, as it turns out, given that the crypto industry is largely full of shitcoins, was that not a good thing?
Yeah, I was thinking about that as I was saying it. All the people I remember during that time, it was just the SEC's attacking crypto. Um, but yeah, now that was quite a while ago when I was, I've changed a lot since then, become a maxi, but I just remember it being a very strange thing that crypto was being attacked. But yes, it wasn't Bitcoin specifically that was being attacked. So, but just the fact that Gary Gensler is, it just felt like there was this entire, even if it wasn't the attack on the crypto industry in my eyes, I really felt like the entire, like that entire domino effect that happened prior to those things. It just really felt to me like Wall Street wanted in on the Bitcoin uh, price running up, and they weren't in on it yet. There wasn't any ETFs created yet. So this entire attack could have benefited to get Bitcoin into the stock exchange and into funds that now people could use. I mean, I don't know if that's how you guys feel, but I feel like I've talked to people that agree with me that feel that way, but it's not like we have obviously proof. But it was just this entire uh, section of capital of the world wanted access to Bitcoin and they didn't have it yet. So it was kind of like part of this coordination could have been to kind of stifle or like, bring down the industry as a whole in order to give them a little more time to get these ETFs going and be able to have access to Bitcoin through TradFi.
Yeah, it's good that Bitcoin is in the door, in the mainstream door, so to speak. Um, but what we experience now and for the last year or two is what Bitcoin has to do, which is now fighting in the fiat world. It's attracting all the fiat stuff, which it's kind of got to go through because it's in that world. But we're now experiencing delay and all sorts of things because it's in that realm, and they're trying their best to control something they can't control. So we're all having to suffer the impatience of going through all that. So it's kind of good it's in, but it is at the same time I sort of wish it wasn't anywhere near fiat world in a way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most of us, we want that's the last thing we want is just to see it being part of fiat world because we know it's an entirely separate world. It's really not, in the same system, but they're trying to, I guess this whole situation that's happening is just a bridge for all of the capital tied up in these systems to have a bridge into Bitcoin. But it's just the way that I think things would play out is you hear about this sovereign debt crisis or bond collapses and all these things could happen. So as things get worse, it's just you just wonder what would happen to that entire section of finance that they're trying to get into Bitcoin. But if that system collapses, they don't have access to Bitcoin. It's not the same thing. So it's just kind of obviously you would choose if you don't already have your money tied up there, you'd rather just buy the asset. Um, but it's just kind of like the way things go. But it's also weird that Bitcoin, you know, all this stuff was happening, you know, all this stuff led to like a inevitable end for it to get into the system. They wanted to have access to it, and they made it happen. They were able to get it into Main Street Finance or whatever through their paper Bitcoin, route.
Yeah, I think the main thing we need to see at the moment is we need to see big big corporations accepting Bitcoin. We need to see the likes of I mean, we call them Asda here, but you call them Walmart. the likes of those size companies willingly accepting Bitcoin and actively maybe pushing people to pay in Bitcoin. I think that's the phase Bitcoin needs to see. And it, as I've always said on a couple of things, it's just an absolute no-brainer for them to accept Bitcoin because it's so much cheaper than the merchants they use at the moment with the 1% and 2%
Yeah.
fees
And in the long run, whatever they accumulate, you know, it obviously becomes more valuable over time. I mean,
valuable.
like, I mean, and getting into medium of exchange, I mean, it's to get to the Walmarts, I mean, it's gonna take a lot more interaction, right? It's gonna take a lot more mom and pop shops because that's, I mean, essentially what led to Walmart was, big corporations saying, hey, let's just cash in on that and eliminate the middleman, eliminate the mom and pop shops and just give you an all in one place where you can, you know what I mean? And like a lot of businesses, suffered because of it. So it would make sense that they would see the ones that are thriving, because there are still, independent businesses, popping up here and there, a lot more niche down in many regards. But I think the more that the eyes of the big wigs see Bitcoin being used as medium of exchange in small business, I feel like that's going to sort of entice them to move on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be definitely showing them that people are using it. They would have to eventually accept it. I wonder what would come first. I wonder if it would be seeing a lot of users, smaller
It's
businesses using Bitcoin, and then oh yeah, sorry. Do you hear me?
it's the chicken and the egg scenario.
Right. True. Yeah, so I wonder if it would be people using it more to show them that, hey, we should accept this too because we're missing out on this and also, not saving on these fees. Or is it also the fact that they're not accumulating more at this point because there is such a large amount of capital with these giant companies that, they really need to see $1 million Bitcoin because before they can actually really dip their toes into it. Because if they start, it's almost like a minefield. Like I call it a minefield. Like if they're all trying to accumulate a Bitcoin, they can't collect it too fast. That's why I think these derivatives, and it being in TradFi, I think they play these Wall Street games where they long it and short it, they can make money both ways, but they don't want to actually accumulate too much of the Bitcoin because it would cause that supply shock and the price would run up so high and it would mess up probably the TradFi, the perpetuals, and all the derivatives trading they're doing. So they are playing, I think, fiat games and they're too afraid to move the market too much by dumping a whole bunch of capital. It's not just one of these companies alone could send Bitcoin skyrocketing. So I think they all know that they're they're tiptoeing around it. They're probably watching it, but they know they can't actually dive in until it's a lot deeper of a
Well,
liquidity pool.
there's also first mover advantage, man.
Yeah, there is, but then I think I've also heard because I know that you could buy billions of dollars in Bitcoin per day and it won't move the market, but some of these companies have so much capital that if they were, let's say, to just say, you know what, I could buy up half of what's remaining on the exchanges today, because I feel like it. I want to suck up the supply. But that would cause a lot of these, I think, I mean, my opinion, but I think the derivatives trading again too, people shorting the market, they could go buy up half the supply if they wanted to, 1 million coins today, and then there would be a whole lot of short selling going on, and then obviously that would level itself out over time. But I think that one person just saying first mover advantage, they could cause a short term like spike, and then it would kind of like technically be a crash, because people are trying to like figure out figure out the market for a time. But I think it would just be more volatile, which is fine. I mean, that's good for Bitcoin anyway, because then other people want to, it's the game theory. They want to jump into and get it before everyone else gets the same idea. But I just think it would be something that they're just kind of waiting for. I mean, I've heard a good amount of people say that they won't look at Bitcoin until it hits a million, like these huge companies. So and at the same time, it's good in the process that we just keep trying to educate people to try to use it themselves. I mean, it benefits small businesses being able to transact peer to peer in Bitcoin, not having to pay these 3% fees to a middleman who is taking a cut when we don't need to give it to them. So it'd be nice to have more small businesses find out about this type of thing, to be able to accept Bitcoin and start using it more. So maybe they could see that, and that would maybe be the catalyst to have somebody want the first mover advantage if they see more people are just using it wherever they can. So if there's people that are, Bitcoin businesses in the Bitcoin army, and if they offer, pay in Bitcoin, we should try to do that as much as possible, because even if it's an online business or an in-person one, it shows that we're using it. We want to pay in Bitcoin. We don't want to pay a middleman a fee for no reason. So yeah, I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on that? Does anyone else? Oh, somebody else is requesting. We
We
have.
have Rob Satz is up here.
Oh,
You
great.
want to say hi, Rob?
Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you guys doing? Let me get out of this noisy place for a second.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I love this space, the paranoia thing. I am always paranoid about everything that comes down, and on the Gary Gensler thing, I don't I mean, as much as I want to hate on Gensler, like I think he's just a pawn, and he was probably ordered to do everything he did, and then the Trump administration came in and said, we're going to change things. And everybody thought that it was going to get more decentralized. And then the Trump organization and presidency just, wants to shitcoin themselves. And um, I, I think that all of our paranoia is justified in all of these cases. And it just keeps playing out and proving out time and time again. Um, and to that end, I mean, I think that, I took a little time away yesterday and today just thinking about stuff. And I think that we need to be running nodes and we need to be transacting and just show that Bitcoin is the thing. And this is where we need to go and just prove it, get, hundreds of thousands, a billion, whatever it is, of users interacting, using the chain, um, making transactions every day. I'm here picking up pizzas for my family right now, and I want to go in there and pay with Bitcoin. And I can replace it and buy more Bitcoin later, but I just want to make the transaction instead of, when I'm tapping with my Apple Pay, I want to tap and then take Bitcoin. And if there was another pizza place nearby, I would go use that if they were taking Bitcoin. So, I don't know where that ends, but I think that what we're doing and making a case for it and putting it out in the open here, and then if these same people go on to Crime Watch on tomorrow night, whatever may happen, I think we're on the right track, and we should just keep moving forward and keep doing what we're doing. So appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go back and get these pizzas, but
Enjoy
I will
your
be listening.
dinner. Yes, thank you so much.
Yep.
That's such a great point. Yeah, if there was another, um, you know, Bitcoin business out there that accepted Bitcoin and they offered pizza, we would definitely choose that one. We would love to support. And I think there's apps out there that somebody was talking about. I don't know if it was the Orange Pill app that actually shows nearby Bitcoin businesses that you can actually support. So that ties in perfectly with what we also wanted to discuss today with the word stewardship. That's been used a lot lately in the Bitcoin space, especially. I mean, not especially, but in the Bitcoin army as well. And I think that word, being a good steward, is it's very important. That's what it means. Like, we're part of this network. We should do stuff to support the network, like spending Bitcoin where we can, like running a node. and just doing these things supports the Bitcoin network. So that means you're participating in it. You're not just accumulating it and sitting on it. You're actively confirming transactions, and you're actually part of the nodes. Part of the nodes of the world. You're actually involved. So it's something that's very important. I'm so glad the Bitcoin Army has made this challenge, to get I think 2,100 members to be running nodes, and that is so powerful. And I'm so proud to be part of this group of people who is pushing forward ideas that are strengthening the Bitcoin network and showing people how important it is to do it. I mean, it's not, you shouldn't just idly stand by. And I think it was the accountant that said something so powerful too. And Killer B said some really powerful things last time in our space that we had. And those ideas really resonated with me that, you know, Bitcoin is neither for the lazy or the dumb, so you have to do your research and you have to put in some work. And we have to this is the way we fight. We fight by participating and showing that we're part of this group. And I've heard it said a few times recently too, but running a node is our defense. It's we are making that shield bigger. We're defending, we're protecting the network, we're protecting the fact that nobody can change the rules of this game. And it is such an important fight. And even though we're not actually fighting, we're defending. And it's such really a movement that I'm so proud. I know you're all proud to be part of. We all um, do what's best for all of us in this community, in this group of Bitcoin in general. Um, we want it to survive, and we have to fight because these attacks keep happening. Um, and I think that's why the whole stewardship idea is something that I don't know where it started, but all I know was from my point of view. I do remember having Sat Scholar and Freeborn Farmer on my show, and the entire episode was about protecting the soul of Bitcoin. And we discussed being a good steward and how you do that. And it was two perfect, people that could come together from, Freeborn being a farmer and Sats being very knowledgeable on the software and the network, and putting those ideas together to come up with why, farming and the network and pretty much being a steward of your land, and all those ideas were so important. And I don't know if I don't know if they started this idea, or if that was the first time I heard of it. That I hadn't heard the word steward being used much in Bitcoin. Prior to that, I would never really see it circulating, but ever since I spoke with them, I've been seeing people use that word. I saw Adam Back use that word, and I've seen others use that word ever since then. And it makes you wonder sometimes how much the Bitcoin army is making waves in the Bitcoin community. Are we, everyone, not just on my show, but sharing their voice?
We're being watched. No,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I don't. You know what I mean? Maybe
maybe
we're being. I'm
we're
sure. I mean, I'm sure we're turning a few heads here and there. I mean, it's a sentiment that I'm starting to understand because it can be a confusing sentiment, but a sentiment nonetheless. So yeah,
who else wishes we could, like, instead of just emojis, we could post GIFs? I would like to put like a paranoid guy or somebody just like looking around, looking behind their shoulder that we're being watched. But in a good way. People are looking at us as leaders. People are actually looking at us for advice. They're looking at this entire group of people that are showing them how to behave, how to act, how to listen, how to teach. We're open-minded, but we're also, we just care. We're a very good community that cares about each other, and we want to help each other learn.
He
So
is
it's, yeah.
he is a good way to think about it. I think if I'm correct, there are about 20 odd thousand nodes being run globally? Does that sound about right?
I think
it's somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the Bitcoin Army has nearly 7,000 members.
Yes.
So if you kind of look at it that way, we're not far off getting as many members as there are people running nodes. And I think that's pretty bad reflection on the amount of people running nodes.
True.
But
That is very
it
true.
does also show that actually the Bitcoin army can make a big difference. Because if it does start pushing the node narrative and you should be running your own nodes, then there are potentially nearly 7,000 that could be added to that 20-odd thousand, which is a big percentage.
That is so true. We can, I mean, there's more of an impact that can be made than you think. Killer Bee, if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, with close to 7,000 members, the Bitcoin Army. I mean, that's a that's a significant jump. So and I think that as we kind of foster this sort of environment where we're looking to yeah, put a node in every soldier's hands. That could really spark something. You know what I mean? That could inspire some, maybe some new people in the community to, maybe do some groundwork and get out into the analog space and, and start having conversations. I think that a lot of times we sort of hit this, I don't even really know how to say it. We hit this roadblock where we're trying to orange pill folks. And we're trying to get new people into into the into basically just trying to promote adoption. So I think we should maybe take some time and sort of take a look at the people who are in the Bitcoin space and see what they're getting. You know what I mean? And see how they feel about running nodes. Maybe if they don't understand it, or it's just not something they've considered, then maybe that conversation, because I think a lot of times we sort of follow that linear path, right? When you get in, it's number go up. It's, oh, I've never seen anything like this. Look at these charts. It's amazing. And little by little, you start running into concepts like stewardship. You start understanding that this project, this protocol, um, it works because of us, right? It moves because we're here to move it. It would be stagnant otherwise. So it is important to to have some kind of activity, right? Do just more than accumulate, because the likelihood of you know all the nodes going down and there only being one is obviously slim, but it's not a zero number. So the more nodes we have running, the stronger the network is. And for mass adoption really to take flight, we're gonna need some impressive numbers to look at, right? And if the powers that be, you know, who have whatever influence is out there, if they see, only 20,000 or so nodes running, they might not consider that a big deal. If they see 50, 70, 80, 100, 100,000 nodes more, I feel like that's going to make a little bit more of an impact. A lot of folks will tell you, don't watch the charts. Look at the hash rate, right? And that's the measure of success, right? That's the measure of like where we're going, how things are moving. Like it's increasing, and that's a good thing, and that's what we want. But it really is. I mean, there's a like a sort of checks and balances with the protocol, where it's not all just one group of people decides. Not all miners. It's not all nodes. It's not all users. It's all of us. So if we, I don't know. I think maybe, and this might be an American point of view, but I think like a lot of people might be reluctant because they're used to a checks and balances system that doesn't exactly check or balance. So you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. So I feel like there's a lot of stigma to overcome. So that these kind of conversations sort of need to be happening.
I agree. Yeah, there is stigma to overcome, and I think that that's probably very important to remember because there are a lot of people who are very confused on what's going on with this. And I actually have uh, a message that I got from somebody that I thought was very important to share based on this because, um, people are just sometimes confused about the whole spam thing and not spam thing and like who do I choose core or not? And sometimes people just think it's too complicated. I'm just not even going to get involved. And that's the wrong idea. You can't think like that. And when I actually had a separate message with this person, they're not in the space right now, but um, the way I explained it to them um, was pretty straightforward. And they said, if the argument was simply that if I can't stop spam, but that doesn't mean I have to relay it in my meme pool, then I would agree wholeheartedly. So hearing that was very important because I think a lot of people don't understand that you don't have to relay a certain thing in, if you can't stop it, you just don't have to choose to relay that. So it's just knots is, I think most of the Bitcoin army agrees, and we're trying to spread that message that it's the way to go, because we don't believe in the censorship and that you don't have to relay these certain messages. But we do believe in what Bitcoin is, which is freedom. We don't want censorship. And I think a lot of people maybe are also, besides being confused about the spam, no spam, what do I choose? I think we just need to make it clear where we stand on that aspect so people know that if they're going to run a node and they know what Bitcoin Army leaders believe in, that would give them and why, we could explain why. And we have been doing, I think, a good job of doing that for people. And just being, open, answering questions and just and helping, so showing people that why we believe the things we do, making it clear for them, but also maybe running a poll. If the Bitcoin Army were to run a poll and see how many people do run a node or how many people are confused about nodes, because I know that there's, steps further you could take by using your node, like, putting your transactions through your node. But if you just want to run it on your computer, it was the simplest thing and the quickest thing I've ever done. I hear a lot about the Raspberry Pi and all these other things, and that's great. I want to eventually do that. But if you're just getting started, you need people to get in and do this the simplest way possible and explain what the simplest way is. And for me, that was just going to Core, the website, and it just looks like, I'm sorry, Core. It was Knots, but it was like I currently had Core on my computer, and as soon as I downloaded the Knots, it just converted everything over, and it was then Knots, and it took like 2 seconds. It was the simplest thing ever. So if people realize how quick it can be, it's not like you have to do the most complicated thing. I would like to do other versions of node running and actually doing mining as a service. I would love to do that as well. Um, so there's so many things you could do, but if you just get started, and show people that there's an easy way to do it, so you don't have to feel overwhelmed, that'll be helpful to get more people doing this. Do we have anybody
Yeah.
else who wants to speak now,
Um.
or unless you want to say something first?
Well, yeah. No, I have to run outside, so you might lose me, but I'm coming right back. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be an either or thing. I mean, the main thing is, we do want more. The more people we have running nodes, the stronger the network is. Um, there are other conversations that sort of lie beneath, and those conversations might be a little too much for a newcomer. So starting with the basics. Now, if there's other conversations to be had, we'll definitely foster those conversations. We're all adults, so we all have opinions, and they're not all going to be the same, and that's fine. But the main thing is, um, more node running is better for the network than not. So, I mean, it's a pretty. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of a no-brainer in that regard.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we have a couple of people that want to come up to speak. We'll have Alma come up first, then Mr. Twit is requesting. So I will have both of you come up and you can speak. So I will allow you guys here. Alma, if you want to go first.
Hey, thanks, guys, and thank you for bringing me up. Good to see everyone. Hey, I just wanted to. I've been listening for just a minute. I want to pop back into the conversation about doing business on a day-to-day basis. I just wanted to just say I can't. It's 100% right. There's, as a business owner myself, trying to, build a business that's going to accept Bitcoin only. So I'm having to learn a lot. So I don't run a node yet. I want to run one. I just barely started to even actually acquiring some Bitcoin. So I don't know. It's weird to me because I think of myself as, I've been listening to these spaces, not particularly your guys's, but just on spaces for the last 2.5 years. And I feel like I'm a seasoned guy knowing a lot of stuff about Bitcoin, but yeah, I don't even know how to run a node. So that tells me that I personally feel need some just basic education. So, and I'm sure that there's out there, and you guys probably have them. And if you do, that's great. I just need to join one. And I think it's true for everybody. Like, I finally talking to my wife a little bit about Bitcoin. Hey, believe it or not, she bought $100 of Bitcoin in 2017. It's on Coinbase, and she has no idea how to get it off. But anyway, so she, the bottom line is, I think it's about education. So I feel like I'm completely lost, even though I feel like I'm new. I feel like I'm knowledgeable, but I also feel like I'm lost because I don't have that one thing that you guys were also talking about, which is making it easy. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but if you guys come up with something, I'd say great. So
I think I have a great idea. I'm going to pin it in the nest where you guys have to go to download it. All you have to do is download it and run it. It literally is the simplest thing and the quickest download you'll ever do.
Step by step instructions for
it's honestly like
for absent-minded engineers like me.
Well, here's the thing. I think most spaces that I go into and most people I hear that talk about running a node, I mean, I like to make things simple because again, I want to get more people doing it, right? I want more people to be able to do it without being like, oh, I'll do it next month or I'll do it whenever I get around to it. I do hear, again, I'm not saying some of these things, obviously, I think they're a million times better if you run a Raspberry Pi or whatever. I've heard of too that I do eventually, like I said, want to do. But I will pin the knots, where you go to download it now from the knots website in the nest so that you guys could go on your computer and download it and just run the node. So that is the simplest way to do it. You're just downloading something just like you've downloaded any sort of application on your computer ever, and you're just letting it run. And it tells you it's this many years behind, and you just leave it on until it catches up to current times. And the download is fast. It just has to catch up on the blocks. But it is very simple to just have it going. Then you need more education to say, how do I transact with my node? How do I send money? That's different. That you can do
there
after.
You go. That's where I was at. I actually did that. I went on to download it, and I installed Bitcoin Core, and then found out it was gross, and I'm like uninstalled it and got knots. Like I don't see. Even I got lost. So I downloaded
but see, that's
knots.
the thing. And I had Core still on my computer, but once I downloaded knots, then it literally is still Bitcoin, obviously. So it just switched. The top is called knots now. But it was the simplest transition to make. If you already have Core on your computer anyway, you just go to knots and it just converts everything all over to the other version. But it is we just need to make it super simple just so people can get started. Just having it running, I think, is the best way to get more people doing it. Just start with step one. Don't go into
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I like
I'm
that.
so glad you said that.
So I do believe, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me, but I think that we are planning on having like a workshop space that's going to be specifically on nodes. Almost. So once, I guess, be on the lookout for that. If I get an exact, time, date, and all that stuff, I will do my best to make sure that information gets to you. The Bitcoin Army timeline, you will usually see a lot of upcoming news and events and things like that. So so be on the lookout. We usually pin the space of the day or some very important relevant information. We'll usually pin that at the top of the community timeline, the BATL, the battle. So that's sort of one place to kind of look for what's going on with us, right? And yeah, I think that I think something that you said, Alma, kind of rang with me while I was running outside, kind of listening to you're kind of giving like a timeline of like you existing in the spaces and sort of gaining information and then still feeling that you have a lot to learn. I wish there were more like you. I wish, I feel like that is that's a positive thing to exist in sort of a, in sort of a sphere such as this and to still remain curious and wanting knowledge. I mean, that alone is so incredibly valuable as far as I'm concerned, right? And also like take heart, bro. Like there's so much information. There's so much going on within Bitcoin. Even if you know it all, there's still tomorrow. There's still a whole new thing to learn, the next day, right? So I don't feel like it's something that you should, feel, I don't know, some type of way about, right? It's a good thing, right? Being hungry for that knowledge shows that there's obviously a lot of real world benefit to the things that that people are doing. Some things that we haven't done, and then always, because I am the crime watch guy. Always protect yourself, right? Take all security measures available to make sure you're, and that also goes for people trying to sell you the next shiny new penny or a way to do this or that. Just always be mindful of motives. Yeah, and that's I think it's a good thing.
Well, I
I think
appreciate
you're in a
that.
great
Yeah,
place.
I really do. And it's like I
I
said,
mean,
just the education part was the biggest thing. That's all I wanted to say. I think that
Yes.
you guys talking about running nodes. I want to run a node. I don't know how. So I think
Alma, I pinned it. I pinned it in the top of the nest there.
I know. I'm gonna
Okay.
get to it. I will. I just can't right this second. I'm making a
yeah,
pizza.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
As soon as
yeah.
you make your pizza, that's how
Enjoy the
fast
pizza.
it is. After you're
It's
done with your
pizza day.
pizza.
It's
I
Yeah.
was just gonna.
It is,
Tuesday is
right?
apparently pizza day.
Yes, it is.
Hey,
Well, enjoy your pizza.
I'll definitely enjoy it, and I'm gonna be taking off here. But so I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
I'll be listening. So I'm off. But thanks for throwing me a mic, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
awesome.
problem. Take care. Good night.
So we've
Mr.
got
Twit too.
Mr.
Yeah.
Twit, and I'm gonna bring up my Bitcoin cousin also.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me
Hey,
up.
Mr. Twit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stacy, I have a quick question for you that might take you back a few thousand followers. Are you still playing
Okay.
Fortnite?
Oh my God, yes.
Whoa.
Do you remember us having a conversation probably a year and a half ago about I play Fortnite too, and we were having a
Well, oh
long
my God, I do kind of
long
remember.
time
I
ago.
haven't, but actually since I started my podcast, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really
Yeah.
played. It's been consuming a lot more of my time, but I do miss the game. It was always fun to take my mind off of things. But I think I remember, yeah,
Yeah.
back when we were trying to look for other gamers that were also
Yeah.
Bitcoiners.
Bitcoin's almost at 89.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like part of me is like, Stacy, when do we start taking profits?
Are you guys joking right now? You guys, do I have to explain this to you again?
Yeah,
Bitcoiners.
that's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
Anyway, just a
Wow.
little fun fact there. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of chime in a little bit on the node thing, as well as just kind of the stewardship word. From a node perspective, I'm 55 years old. Got into Bitcoin about 4 years ago, and one of the things that I had to try and do was kind of, and I put a little post about it today in the Army space or the Army group today, just about my mindset going into Bitcoin, where I really had to focus on actually believing that I could learn it and do it and understand it, because it's a lot to take in. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that takes you down the road of it's not for me. I can't do it. It's too much to risk. I don't understand how this works. It's all a scam, all of those things. And so one of the things that I had to do was just put my mind at ease and just go experiment with things. I think at one point I even found some testnet coins, sats, where I was able to practice and use the testnet side of things to send and do transactions on my node, and really just kind
Nice.
of learn that way and be comfortable where I didn't want to lose any of my own sats, so I was trying to do it with the testnet sats. I think I have that word right.
Yeah.
The other thing for people that are new, and again, I'm not trying to promote anything or anyone, but I know Start9 has a really great out of the box node, as well as a more unknown one. He's run knots forever, and that's Parmanode. I follow him, and he's always out there educating people on nodes and how to do it, and he makes it really easy. I don't have one of his. I took the hard road and bought an old IBM Mini desktop and installed Unix on it, or Linux on it, and then installed Core at the time, and did my thing. But really learned a lot about how the network works, how Bitcoin works, and running your own transactions through a node. It just really makes you a little bit more of a part of what's going on with Bitcoin and recognizing the true power of what goes on with it. The other
Yeah,
thing,
that's great. No, go
yeah,
ahead.
and so I think that, I know the maybe Alma is still there, I'm not sure, but that's the other thing that you could check into is some of the pre-configured nodes that can come to you, so you don't have to be the tech guy if that's what you're worried about, and just learn how to run it. They come with great instructions, real simple interfaces, and you can do everything that you need to do there.
Okay, well, that's funny. Is I
Love it.
consider myself a tech guy, but
So
then you
did
just
I.
lost me. Hello.
So did I. I've been
Right?
in IT for years, and it was one of those things
Oh
that was
my
just
gosh.
intimidating. And
I am so glad you guys are speaking up about this, because
yeah,
it makes other people feel more comfortable that they haven't, it's they're not the only ones, because it wasn't me until recently. It wasn't you both. I know Elma will do it tonight, so we can count him in.
yeah, and
Um,
but it takes a lot of courage to try and go navigate that and figure it out, especially if you're like I was always worried about making a mistake and losing.
mhm.
At that time, I had very few Satoshis. I was in the early stages. I was trying to convince my wife that this was a good thing, and I really was trying to be very careful that I didn't make a mistake so that I could keep the momentum going. So running a node is a
Yeah.
very cool thing to do, just from a Bitcoin understanding and mindset perspective, in my mind. And I
Yep.
really enjoy doing that, and just the accomplishment of getting to run it. It makes you feel like
Yeah.
you're doing a lot to support what's going on, and I think that's that stewardship word that you're talking about, Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'll
100%.
just mention, and then I'll be quiet here, but I live in
Mhm.
Calgary, and that's the same city that BTC Sessions lives in. And
Mhm.
one of the things, I put a post out about this a while ago too, I think, in the Bitcoin Army, about what I started to do to earn more Satoshis outside of my day-to-day job. And so BTC Sessions created a Bitcoin market, and he just took the initiative and put it out there for the people in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, all different cities across Canada ended up coming to Calgary, and he hosted this Bitcoin market where anyone who wanted to could come bring their services and sell them for Bitcoin. So I created my own little world called the Bitcoin Candy Company. My wife owns freeze dryers, and I freeze dried candy. And I
That's
went there.
awesome.
I went there just, I would talk to my wife going, I don't know, this could be a waste of time. This could be the stupidest thing ever, but let's go for it. Because I'm trying to get myself to
Yeah.
be that steward of Bitcoin, where I want to go share my Satoshis, and I want to have it be reciprocal. I want to be able to go do those things. And it was great. You saw plumbers, you
Yeah.
saw roofers, you saw golf pros. There was, coaches. There was a hockey coach. There was we even had a
Boom, boom,
bank.
boom, boom. Bitcoin in the house. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly. But we even had a bank
Yeah.
that came to one of the markets, and I talked to him. He's the CEO of a credit union, and their claim to fame as a credit union was their assets. They stack gold, and what
Mhm.
they just did with Bull Bitcoin in Canada is they now offer, Bitcoin. You can actually purchase Bitcoin through that bank. I think it's the first bank in Canada that allows you to purchase Bitcoin through their with
Wow.
a partnership there. So it was a pretty incredible thing. So if you're in the community
Mhm.
and you want to start to have that circular economy of Satoshis and just spending your stuff and replacing it with others. It's an amazing event. I think I went to 3 of them, and I think there's been a total of 5. But just amazing
That's
ways to
amazing.
put your mind to it and just throw it out there, and things will start coming.
It's true. Just getting more involved in
Yeah.
being around. And thank you so much for
It's
speaking up about all this and just showing that you can participate. It makes you feel so good to do it.
it's really funny. I had a thought after what Mr. Twit just said about just getting up in and going for it. And it's funny because Bitcoin cousin has his hand raised. I think he's picking up my vibe. I think I know he might finish my thought.
Let's see. Let's see, cousin.
No, I doubt it, man. I'm sorry to disappoint you on this one, B. I what I like the points I wanted to make, and maybe they will. You can just do things, man. You can
Yeah,
just do
thank you.
things.
I just needed to hear you say it. That's all.
It's true though. You literally can just do things, and you know what? Like, so the point I want to make is knowledge used to be the gatekeeper, and now we have communities like this where we all can share our knowledge and the things that we've learned along the way. And I really think that one thing to keep in mind is just progress over perfection. That it's so easy to get just overwhelmed with all the details instead of just taking the steps or even just the first step. And we can just do
Yeah,
things.
I
but
agree. I
but
agree.
I just want to also say that, like, a bank isn't built in a day, so you're not going to be your own bank overnight. It takes time and it takes knowledge, and it takes responsibility. But I also think, you just mess around and you learn. And as long as you're not putting up money, like you got nothing to lose,
Yeah,
and everything to gain. It's an asymmetrical bet.
that is so
Learning on
true.
the
Yeah.
job is the best way to learn.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I think maybe 2024, 2025 will be, the year the institutions came. But I also think 25 and 26 will be the year of the pleb. And I really think they've made it so friggin' easy to mine at home, to spin up nodes. Like, you don't need to be a programmer anymore. You just need to get your hands dirty for a second and take in some knowledge. And it's actually really freaking easy. And there's a community in the Bitcoin Army willing to put out knowledge and share what's worked for them. There's no gatekeepers. All of us are happy to share.
That's so true. I just love the idea that we keep, everyone's bringing up is that, you just have to start. You have to start somewhere. We can just do things. You don't have to think it's such a hard thing to do. It kind of reminds me of how this space started too, because, the Army members were asking me if I wanted to host my own space. And we were going back and forth thinking about it. I thought, okay, maybe we'll do this day, or we weren't sure when it would happen. But then one day I just said, you know what? I'm going to put the date out there, and this is when it's starting. So we just, just putting it out there and just doing it. Just get started somehow. You could always wait till tomorrow or next week, but doing it does make you feel good. You feel like you are voicing your strength in the network. You're decentralizing the network. That's the whole thing. We love Bitcoin because it's decentralized, but it's decentralized because of us. So we have to keep it that way. We have to grow it, and we have to do our part to make it even more decentralized. So I love this. I love that it's okay to say that you haven't been running a node this whole time, because, and we have Jeeves here who's going to be speaking next. And if you want to finish up, if you have anything more to say too, feel free to jump in whenever. We want to hear more from you too. But yeah, I love this conversation. I love that people don't have to be afraid that they're not the only ones that haven't been doing this all this time, or you don't have to feel silly asking these questions. And we shouldn't overcomplicate for people who are just trying to get started. So, geez, go ahead.
Hey, Stacy, everybody. I I jumped in because I saw Pleb Goodies on here. I haven't heard his voice in forever right now, so I'm glad he's back. And I really wanted to like piggyback on what you just said, because yesterday there was someone who stopped by our spaces and started asking specifically if they run the node, and if they do they vote? And it was a gotcha question. And a lot of people try to do this one-upmanship, which is something it's a problem. We cannot stop them from trying to, I want to say, walk around with their inflated ego that says that they are more knowledgeable than everybody else. But don't let that stop you from getting to run a node. It feels daunting at the beginning, but there are options where you can actually do it really quickly, and you don't even have to buy. If you have a laptop, you can just run it, right?
Right.
And
thank you, Jeeves.
yeah, you don't really need a server to run a node, and that's the first thing that you have to do. You have to understand. And of course, BTC Sessions has some of the best tutorials out there for you to not only set up your node, but how to use it to perform your transactions. Like, be completely sovereign, right? Like, you can just do things in a way that is available. Like, it's knowledge that is free and it's available. You just have to take the initiative and, like, like those who think that you have to know, like read every line of that code in Bitcoin Core or Bitcoin Knots to kind of weigh in on whether or not you need to run a node, is like, you're completely misguided, right? Please don't think that way.
Right.
I don't know how to code, right? I don't care. I don't need to really care about if I have read and proofread all the code, because how do you know unless you don't, like, you have to rely on. There's one thing about trust and don't trust, verify, that I kind of feel like there is a very misguided version of it, where you think that you need to know everything that you touch, right? You cannot, right? You have to depend on people to actually get things done. If you think when it comes to being a sovereign individual, it doesn't mean that you go fix everything on this planet and you are a PhD in every subject. It's impossible, right? You, at that point, you're just being delusional. So please don't get into that trap. That's a logical trap that a lot of people try to get into. If somebody is trying to push you down by saying you don't know, you have not read the code, so you don't know what you're running, like, ask someone, right? Don't take that as a setback, and don't let that stop you, because that's what they want. They, like, that's their energy vampirism that they are going to really promote. Please don't be part of that victim mentality where you think that you shouldn't be.
I use
Right.
the
So yeah,
flash.
sorry. What was that? I didn't grab that.
No, I was going to say I use the flush on my toilet, but I don't know how the sewer system works. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's right.
Just flush.
You
You just use the flush.
The details of everything. You just sometimes need to jump in, get it working, and work out what you need to work out.
It's like running. Yeah, it's like having your Windows laptop, right? Do you know, like, every single code in the applications that you run? Like, no. Like, how the fuck are you, like, how are you, like, avoiding that conversation when it comes to running your bloody Windows laptop or your phone? But you have a problem when someone questions you about the nodes. Hey, you can be proudly, ignorant about things that you don't understand, and you can still rely on people. Being sovereign doesn't really stop you from being reliant. That's so I'm seeing a couple of these conversations propping up because of this node wars that's hopefully going to be resolved pretty quickly. But like, run whatever node you want, right? You take ownership of the network by not only just buying Bitcoin off exchanges, but also running node and run solo mining or whatever. Like, go pool. Like, I don't really care if you're pro or anti-spam, right? the point is that you're a participant in the network, and the network will take care of things as we go forward. There will be a point when people realize, okay, this is not working out, and they will do things with their best judgment.
Right. Well, I
But you
think
don't
that
have to
that's
be
why.
like, I'm not running nodes because you guys are fighting. That's the most like NPC behavior
Mhm.
that you can have in your life. Like, please don't do that. Like, just
Yes.
pick a side, or if you can pick a side, run both the nodes. It's possible to run
True.
both nodes as well. So yeah, don't just be on the sidelines and think that things are gonna, be okay. Sometimes you have to be taking ownership as well.
Right. Yes, you do have to do that. Thank you so much, Chiefs, for saying that. And I agree. Just get started however, however you need to get started. But I think that part of Killer Bee, I want you to say what you're thinking too. Um, but I just think that from my perspective again, and I have my own, thoughts for things, but I think I agree with Jeeves. I don't know every single line of code. I am not a technologist, but it's just that there's a slippery slope here, and when we understand Bitcoin, we understand that we want to keep the game with rules that cannot be changed, and we just want to keep it hard, and we don't want to we don't want to make it soft. We don't want to keep changing things. We know that this isn't a hard fork situation. This is just an op pretty much like a op return thing. It's not about forking Bitcoin, but we don't want to create a slippery slope of censorship and changes that will continue to keep happening. So that's where I stand on it. That's why I want to run knots. And again, it's better to run anything than not run anything at all. So Killer Bee?
Yeah, and this could be a little, I don't know, there might be some bravado in this statement, right? But it was a statement that I made the last time, right? It's, the question comes down to like, how bad do you want sovereignty? How bad do you want freedom? How bad do you want to um, cut ties with, each of these institutions that do not have your best interests in mind and never will? There is no PR stunt that gets pulled that leads to better relations. All it leads to is more of the same. You are the product. You get fleeced for all of your work. It's take everything and give nothing back. You know, it's the equivalent of the pizza party at at the department store to boost morale. Like, it's nonsense. It's bullshit. You don't want it. Whatever. Um, how bad do you want to break free from that? Because and this, I don't mean this to be a deterrent, but like, we do have to face the facts that, like, something this powerful is not like some washer dryer combo that you just set and forget, and it's gonna run nice and quiet in the background. It's it's a it takes serious participation, right? And yeah, that can be scary for folks. But there are simple solutions, and the more that we foster, not even the obviously we want to foster education and information, but we also want to foster an environment where people feel comfortable enough to ask those questions. So those kind of things need to be the focus, right? If I could just sort of point out, normally we do like a room reset. I did post, because I'm a co-host and not the host, so I could actually I have a chance to navigate a little bit better. So up in the what's called the nest, in the spaces, if you're operating on a phone, you can scroll up and you can see our new Bitcoin Army Challenge, where we are looking to get our community members running nodes. And so there's info to check that out. We've got it's the one Stacy put about setting up a node. We have got our schedule, our spaces schedule. Actually, no, let me do that in reverse. I'm sorry, not that. Um, our Bitcoin Army community, obviously 6.7K members. Um, we foster adoption. We lift up our community voices. We're looking to constantly grow. So please come check us out. Consider joining the community. Get to know some amazing people. We're here. We're on Spaces 7 days a week, which brings me to the Spaces post, which starts. This one's starting from today. So there's 2 Spaces today. Tomorrow, later on tonight at 9, we have the Wandering Road with Journeyman. That's not recorded. Tomorrow is Crime Watch with really handsome guy Killer B. Thursday, Vibe Sessions with Groom Biddy. Friday, my cousin, my Bitcoin cousin, who was just speaking a little while ago, has an amazing space. Wait a minute, I forgot. We have Bitcoin Economy with Rob Cool. We have Finance Friday for the Bitcoin Citizen with Max Quantum Rides. That's 8 a.m. for Bitcoin Economy, 10 a.m. for Finance Friday. And then 8 o'clock, Proof of Consciousness with Bitcoin Cousin, an amazing space. We get really, really deep and stir up some brain noodles. Saturday, we have Rob Satz with Bitcoin Banter. Sometimes that will be an education space, depending on whether or not we can have some teachers facilitating some education. Saturday, Mempool Midnights with BTC Profit. An amazing little campfire. There may be music. There often is. And Sundays, Bitcoin Fixes This with Nova Noodle. Mondays, we host a pleb chat where we try and get to know the new voices in the Bitcoin army. So 9 p.m. on Mondays, we have that with General BTC. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire lineup, and it wraps us back around to Tuesday here with the Paranoia Initiative. Starts at 7 p.m. These are all Eastern times, by the way. Sorry about that. And yeah, that's all I got.
I just wanted to add to what Killer just said, because that was largely about freedom. And if I could have hit I needed like a rapid fire on the 100% button, because I would have just hit rapid fire on it, because I agreed 100% with what you said about freedom, and none of them give a shit really about us or anything. So it is about freedom. But I want to add is a bit more than that. We've actually this is one chance. We've got one chance at this, and it's Bitcoin. And if it works or it doesn't, my guess, I mean, I'm 99.9% confident Bitcoin wins out. But it is the one chance. If it were somehow to fail, I don't think we ever see anything like it ever again, because I don't think they would ever allow it. So that's how important it is.
Exactly. I mean, you have to look at the other things that are around that are like it. These other things that we sort of call in the sphere of cryptocurrency, right? It's just more fiat. It's just
like follow the incentive, right? Like
right.
Yeah, just follow the incentive.
Yeah, it's fiat with extra steps. It's fiat disguised as something like Bitcoin but better. I mean, if you've been around even for a few months, you hear this stuff. And it's part of what we do as a community is really spread awareness and pull back the curtain, reveal what's actually going on. So that you can feel a little bit more comfortable. And then when you see these crypto scams or any other kind of scam, paper Bitcoin scam, whatever they are, it's you start to realize over time that it's all the same, right? And Pleb Goodies has it completely correct. The likelihood of Bitcoin failing, not very, but we cannot just assume. Again, it's not a set it and forget it thing. You can't just assume that it's always going to succeed, that good is always going to prevail. The only time evil prevails is when good people do nothing. So, you have to step up, right?
Anything that's worth it generally has to be fought for. So
absolutely,
I see this as no different.
Yeah, and one thing that that reminds me of is thinking about how good versus evil and good prevailing. It's like if we look at Satoshi like he's some kind of modern day superhero, but then if we are all Satoshi, then we could all be heroes too. So I think everybody needs to step up and do their part and
I
run
I
their
really
Yeah,
node.
it's
feel,
almost like
Stacy.
sorry, KB. I
No, I
just wanted
just
to put
really,
in.
yeah, I just got one quick sentence because Stacy, I really
Mm.
feel like that was that like we are. I feel like that was the whole point of the project.
What does it
Yeah,
what
Yeah,
does it
and
mean? What does it mean to you,
thank
Stacy, to
you.
be a hero?
Oh, to be a hero, I think it's to be a hero is to just push aside your fears and just do things like cousin said, because if you just do these things you could show other people that they could also do these things, and it inspires other people to feel to push that their fear aside and just share their voice, share their opinion, become part of this community and actually see how good it makes them feel. So I think everyone can be that person. Everyone inspires everybody a little bit, and I just know how I felt from I mean, not that I want to call myself a hero, but I think all of you are heroes. But I think that when I see people get up and do these things, all the spaces you guys have started, everything everyone's doing to bring attention to things that matter and are important in the Bitcoin space, everyone together combined, uh, you know, I think we said it last time too, we're stronger together. Um, we are strong together. So I think that just sharing that, you know, anything you do, any art you make, anything you post, any kind of, you know, idea you have, even if it sounds crazy, even if you feel like you're the only one thinking it, I'm sure many other Bitcoiners are thinking it. So share your ideas. It inspires other people. And you don't know how much it does inspire others, the work that you're doing, the work you're putting in, and how much you care about this network, to stay decentralized and secure, and to be one of those. I mean, really, honestly, just you all should be so proud of yourselves. Like everybody should be so proud for just showing up, and I'm sure many of you, pretty much everybody that's hosting a space now, I'm sure every single person it was scary, to do it. And it's just, I mean, I was saying today before I got on, I was nervous every time I start a space. Um, even though I'm getting used to doing podcasts, I'm nervous before those, but you do it and it's awesome every time. And we have these amazing talks. So I'm just so proud of all of you. So Journey, that was the long answer to your question. I'm sorry. I just went on a rant there.
No, that's fine. I like it when people go on rants, that's the point. I want to know what it means to I want to know what it means to Bitcoiners to be a hero, like I got my own version of it. Like I think and I think it kind of relates to what you're saying, to be a hero is to, in other words, how I would put it is to be uncorruptible, right? Because when you're uncorruptible, you have no, well, quote unquote, have no fear. Like, public speaking or even going on to spaces, it's always scary. Like, it's always going to be there. And I think that's what a lot of big accounts or just people with lots of influence, they fail to connect to people that are, kind of smaller or starting off. And what they fail to do is that they don't tell them that the fear never goes away, right? Like it never goes away. It's always there. But just what happens is that every single time you put in a rep, it just gets tinier and tinier and tinier, and it just makes you uncorruptible because you're living, true to your energy. And so if you're uncorruptible, you inspire others to be uncorruptible and take charge and accountability and responsibility, and because that's what heroes do, right? They question everything. They're paranoid. They take
Yeah.
responsibility for their actions, and they try and inspire others by being fearless or uncorruptible themselves, right?
I
So
Yes.
think what Stacey described was bravery
Mhm.
more than anything else, and I think actually Stacey showed a lot of bravery in doing what she did with the podcast, because she just picked it up and went with it, despite probably being scared to death about doing it because it's a big undertaking, and she
Thank
does it
you.
very well. and it's gotten better and better as it's gone along as well.
Thank
So
you. And
I
you know
think
what, Pleb? He stood up and he spoke when I was asking for people to join me, and I didn't know who in the world would ever join me for a podcast. And I put it out there, who's gonna do this with me? And he said, "I'll do it if you want." And you were so nice. You even said, if it's terrible, you could delete it. I don't care. It's just for whatever you need for
yeah,
practice. And it was amazing. It wasn't at all what you thought it was going to be.
That's largely because I hate listening to myself back on record. I couldn't listen to it for ages.
I think most of us hate listening to ourselves, honestly.
It's funny because, like,
No,
obviously,
not me. I love myself.
well, of course you do. No, but it's funny. Like, just about everybody else's, you know, especially with the Army, like, are all my favorite podcasts, and I still have not listened to all of mine. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think when it's your own, you just don't always want to go hear it back. But I'm forced to sometimes hear mine back because I'm doing editing and I'm like trying to fast forward my parts. But yes, thank you so much for saying that, Pleb. And guess what? When I did it, it was because I wanted to hold myself accountable with you guys. And that helped because George, he's here, he's listening, but I've told people this before, I'm sure you guys have heard it, but he was,
Hey, Big G.
you know, yeah, he told me to go for it, and even though he told me to go for it, I was like, all right, I think I'm going to do this, but I thought I might check it out, the first time I was ever on a podcast. So I posted it, I shared it with the Army, and I told you guys I was doing it, and everybody was super excited, that I was doing it. So I knew that I was then stuck. I wasn't allowed to back out because that would be bad. Then I would look like I'm not following through. So I had accountability there. So I think having a community is so important because when you have that bravery or that feeling of bravery and you share it with people that want to see you succeed and see you do well, they will support you and they will give you courage to do these things that you might not do if you don't have a group behind you. If you're just all alone, you're thinking, maybe, who do I have to talk to? What am I going to do? But when you join this group, you have people to talk to, and there are so many possibilities.
Yeah, that's how we talked you into doing this space.
I know, it was like you didn't have to try. I mean, you just brought up the idea, and I say it was twisting my arm, but I was like, all right, when are we going to do this? But the hardest part was picking a date. We could have started in 3 months, but I just figured, hey, how about this date, and just put it out there, and my co-host was all for it, so it was it just started, so just anything you guys are thinking is just awesome, having a group of friends, but also, getting back to the paranoia side too. It's like anything that happens, having a community reminds you to always be careful and always to watch your back and always, with this whole thing that happened, I think it was yesterday with the wallet or some kind of, Web3 or some things were changing your wallet address. There was Bitcoin stolen or some kind of crypto stolen or something, but it's just an awareness thing. The more these phishing attacks will continue, we know that happened to Jimmy in our group, and he had a terrible thing happen to him with a phishing attack. But these phishing attacks continue, and it's important to be aware of these things and be part of a group that can remind you, hey, always double check your address. If you're putting in an address or copying it from a clipboard, check that it's legit. Check that it didn't get changed along the way. Reminding each other to be a little paranoid is a good thing. And having each other's backs and spreading news like this so we're not letting our guard down.
Absolutely, I love that. Yeah, I mean, especially, going forward, as adoption increases, as the the fiat number of what people think Bitcoin is worth goes up. There are going to be more attacks. There are going to be, they're going to get more clever. They're going to get more elaborate. It's not going to just be people out to get your Bitcoin. It's going to be institutions out to get your Bitcoin. It's going to be governments, nation states out to get your Bitcoin. So all of this bears serious consideration. You have to be super careful.
Yeah, speaking of being super careful, I know I want to talk about something real quick, and you're very right about that, Killer Bee. And I just want to remind everybody that Journeyman Space, I always get it wrong, but is it the Wandering Road? Yes.
Yay.
Okay, I did it. So Journeyman Space is starting after this. I don't know why that's so hard for me. I want to call it the Winding Road every time. But the Wandering Road is starting in about 30 minutes. So we're going to be moving over to his space after this. And I did invite George up here to speak, but he's not joining me. I don't know what is going on with that guy. But I'm trying to invite him again. He
Right.
must not be listening. He must be joining for support. Where is he at? Oh, I think I still invited him and he didn't come up yet. But anyway, if he comes up, he'll surprise us and we'll just be blessed with his voice. But I just wanted to tell you guys about the whole, being this is kind of crazy. Oh, there he is. Hello, George.
Hey, George.
You're always talking shit.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I said blessed with your voice. I didn't say anything rude.
I missed that part because I'm always on delay.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't say
You're
anything
like, I
mean.
invited him over here. George is in the kitchen cooking. Could be
Oh,
nice. I think it'd be nice if the army kind of came together and maybe did a poll or something to see if there was somebody that was maybe usually unobtainable to possibly get, but they were interested to see them on your podcast, and maybe a bunch of people will reach out to them, then they could cause a little awareness or maybe get through to somebody. That I think that would be kind of cool. I know you guys always talk about John Cena
yeah.
being whatever, like
A
a follower
Bitcoiner.
of everybody. But I
Hmm.
mean, that's pretty far fetched. But I think it'd be cool if everybody kind of reached out, because obviously everybody's kind of in this together, and you're kind of the voice, and I think everybody's represented through you.
Yeah, we should all try to get Michael. Everyone should just start like spamming, right? We'll use the word spam for some
Michael
reason.
Saylor.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get
I
let's get everybody spamming Michael Saylor.
mean, I don't think it's that far fetched, because I mean, you've had some pretty big names, and everybody on the show's been great. So.
They have, and maybe I'll get him to laugh and stuff. It would be kind of amusing. You guys have seen enough Sailor talks.
I
Um,
think you can handle Sailor. Absolutely. I think
I'd
that would
be
be fantastic.
Thank you. I would be again nervous if that were to happen. I would probably be medicating a little bit prior to the to that happening, but I think it would go well. I think I'm pretty positive there would be a lot of fun. So
Would you
I would
would
say
you ask him? Would you ask him for proof of reserve?
would I ask him? I think I would just like I don't. What would I do? I mean, maybe I bet
What
I
was the
could get
question?
him proof of reserves for his treasury. See, you know, I think I could get him to open up about stuff. I really do. I bet I'd be the one to crack it.
I
yeah,
would
I
just
think
like to know what he
that
does
was the
for
thing.
fun.
You're ready for
Yeah.
him. I don't know if he's ready for you.
I don't know. I don't know if he is. Yeah, he's good. You're right about that. He's got to like watch some other Bitcoin Nova episodes so he knows what he's getting into.
We'll just share the compilation song
Oh,
from
yes,
yesterday,
from
and then I
yesterday.
think that just kind of speaks volumes to what your podcast is all about.
Oh, that's
How
a perfect
relaxed it is.
idea. I'll make a
Yeah,
post and I'll share the song that cousin made with all the images of the memes everyone created from this fake armed uh request to be on my show. And then that'll draw him in. He will have no choice, I think, right? I think
right.
Sailor will see the the Bitcoin army and see
Yeah.
their meme kings maybe and kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't be able to refuse. That's a good angle.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So yeah, like
You should
yeah, go
you
ahead.
should do a poll on it with the army about whether you should get Sailor on your podcast. And then, because that will overwhelmingly be a massive poll for getting him on your podcast, you can then
Yeah,
copy him in on it, and he'll want in then, won't he?
that's so true. Yes. I think that's a really good point. Plus, who else I think would be I don't know, like it would be a challenge, but I think I could break through some barriers with this person. I wonder if it would be a good or a bad idea to get Shinobi on there and kind of get him to turn nice and actually be a real person. What do you think? Do you think I could do it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. I
there we
I
have
should really appreciate you for being that hopeful. That's what
it.
Bitcoin does to you. That's what Bitcoin does to you. Even after him drawing his guns out and kind of pointing the gun and being very, yeah, very fake macho about it. But yeah, sure. I mean,
I think
in,
I'll break some walls down. I've got the
we'll
hairdresser
see.
therapist in me, so
Yeah, he only, I should really thank him because it was his attitude that really convinced me why I should be running knots, and that's what I did. So I should really thank him for that.
yeah,
And
honestly, yeah.
if I hear him speak more, I'm going to probably run another node of knots.
Yeah.
That's what's going to
Well, that's
happen.
how you actually technically you're right, because even Peter Schiff said that at the Bitcoin conference. He goes, people should actually thank me because of all the shit talking I've done about Bitcoin. I've probably made people buy Bitcoin more. So I'm like, he's not wrong there, you
He
know?
is a sneaky champion hodler. He's a
Yeah,
he's a
I'm pretty
clever
sure he
liar.
has, and again, follow the incentives, right? He has a business that's been running for decades. Why would he say something that would be pro Bitcoin and kind of ruin his business? He wouldn't. So, I mean, he's doing everything to make his business, be successful. So I know the incentive for him to be, anti-Bitcoin or whatever, like be a little, toxic douchebag. But that's fine. I mean, I know exactly where he's coming from. So there's no malicious
Jeeves, can
intent
you
in
say
the sense that
douchebag
I
again?
know what he's doing.
Jeeves, say
Go
douchebag
woke,
again.
go broke.
Because it's Stacy's podcast, I'm trying to hold myself back.
You don't have to. Why would you do
I just
that?
want to clip that. I want to make it my alarm.
I don't know if that's, yeah, but I held myself back because I don't
We're
want
gonna
to be
sell Jeeves douchebag
disrespectful.
alarm sounds to
We're gonna have
people.
Jeeves merchandise.
Use merch.
I don't.
We already have a
You
ton of
know.
merchandise already.
You know. I don't want that reservation. I don't want that reserved thieves business tomorrow. I
Right?
want.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
want Baker.
Tomorrow is
I
a
don't want
different.
the reserve Jeeves tonight. No, it's not. Jeeves, tonight you do it.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, with Journeyman, yes, for sure. I mean, he will bring out the best in me, I'm pretty sure, and so does Killer B.
I can
But
say
yes, I
swear
do.
words too sometimes.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time. George knows.
We're just being good
You're
citizens, Bitcoin citizens,
yeah, stewards, I guess. I used that word
stewards.
today, so it's kind
Yeah,
of hard to make you not be that kind of, aura right now.
yeah. It
I
says
need to
being.
I need to have a different vibe. I'm not talking about stewards next week, so you can be your true self.
No, yeah, and if you're not talking about it, we are still being one, and we are good Bitcoin citizens. That's what we are. We have, we really kind of co-signed that the other day when we all changed, added that terminology to our description on our profile. So we really mean it.
By the way, yes, we do mean it. I'm so sorry, Jeeves, but by the
No,
way,
go ahead. Go
if
ahead.
anyone in here hasn't joined for Meme Pool Midnights and heard George and Jeeves sing, if you guys didn't hear them last week, people are singing there and people are playing instruments, and it was amazing and it was so much fun. So that's like
Yeah.
the Saturday night,
Yeah,
music.
it's anything but Bitcoin talk. It's a little bit of it, but how we want to
Anything but
enhance.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's not about number go up, but it's about just being present. That's what we really do there, and yeah, I really like hanging out. And George did. I mean, like he sang, and then I was super nervous because
Oh,
he was listening, and I forgot the lyrics of one of my favorite songs, and I was just like stopping in the middle, and I'm saying I'm kind of thinking, and it was very embarrassing, but nevertheless, right? I had fun. It was something I've never done probably in ages. The last time I was
Wow.
going live was when I was in college, and I was in the college band, and I was just playing. I was playing. I remember me playing with my buddy the For Whom the Bell Tolls, if somebody knows Metallica. So we've been
Nice.
it was fun. It was just fun, and it was super nervous. I felt nervous as that when I was.
Well, you
Playing that
sounded great though.
metal?
Jeeves could play the guitar too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, he played guitar very well, and he also
Yeah.
sang very well. And I thought, like, honestly, I didn't know George Jeeves could sing. I mean, I didn't even know he could play guitar. So I thought after George sang, because he promised us that he would sing and play an instrument if George sang, because we
That
were all
was
trying to
us
get
kind
George
of
to do it.
cornering George, yeah. So,
Oh,
well,
you played him. You like, is that called what do you call that? Like, oh, like when people do that
Trickery.
at a pool hall, like at a pool hall, what do they do? I forget.
Oh,
It's karaoke, man.
Bullshit?
I missed
Yeah,
no,
like
it.
a
not
I
pool.
missed, I
karaoke.
missed it.
Yeah,
No, it was like you guys. There's a word for that, like when you hustle something,
also,
you
yeah.
hustle them. Yeah, so you guys like made. I didn't know. So I thought after he got George to do it because he made a promise, I thought he was gonna rug pull us and be like, "I'm not doing it. I just wanted to get him," but he actually did it, and he sounded awesome, and it was the greatest thing just having everybody that played that night. But it was so much fun.
I think we need a special line of Jeeves Satoshis.
Yes.
What do you guys think about that? I'd get one with faces
Hey, we're
on
gonna.
it. I think that'd be amazing.
I still got to figure out the Killer Bee specials.
Oh yeah. You gotta have like specific ones for each pleb. You got some work to do.
Shout out to
Oh yeah.
Satoshis. If you guys haven't checked it out, go get yourself some.
Yes.
Well, if you all want your own shoes, you just gotta send me a design and we'll get them done.
George will get his Jeeves versions that he wants, and Killer V needs to get his Killer V versions. George is gonna wear them everywhere. I know it.
I'll go to the Bitcoin conference on them.
You will.
oh no!
I have no shame.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we're gonna open a store for sure. This way,
Yeah.
the way George is kind of making all these
I
designs.
might open a booth.
But we have some entrepreneurs on here. Like we have Pleb Goodies with his Satoshi shoes.
You're
He makes
changing
some
the
design
subject, Jeeves.
very.
We're gonna open a Jeeves booth at the Bitcoin conference.
Yes.
You guys are gonna kill me with embarrassment. Oh my god.
You're gonna be the most famous person in Bitcoin.
I
We're
know.
just gonna call. We're just gonna call it Jeevesware.
Mm-hmm.
Jeevesware.
That's a great name.
Jeevesware. Yep. Hey, what are you wearing? And then
Those are
it's
the
gonna be
curious.
Jeeves. What the fuck you wearing?
And to complete it, you have to buy Satoshis from Pleb Goodies, and then you have to buy Fugum
Yes.
from Bitcoin Cousin, and then you're complete. Like you're completely indoctrinated.
I think we need
Yes.
somebody in the Bitcoin army to bring back the Zubaz pants and like start designing those with like Bitcoin.
Yeah, I like that.
But very
You know, we
important
need a
not to
branding
step
manager.
in the thugum with your Satoshis on.
George will be the educator / branding manager for the Bitcoin army.
You guys,
That's what's up.
you guys need a branding manager. The guy you kicked off Spaces the other night. Remember that branding manager, the guy that was branding the line of fishing gear for Toby Keith's family and stuff. And you guys thought he was shitcoining, and I asked you guys about it. Remember the Bitcoin Ranch guy?
Yeah, I wasn't in that space.
Yeah, I was on it, but no, I didn't know if he was shitcoining or not. But come to find out that he's got some interesting ideas, and I actually reached. Yeah, for like being a brand, he's a really good branding manager. Like that's what he's really good at.
Have you seen the Jeeves memes?
No, but I don't
Oh my
think.
goodness.
All right, I'll do
Oh
Oh my god. Oh no.
it. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You twisted George's arm to
I'll
share
send them
them.
all.
Swag. It's Jeeves swag. It's the swag for Jeeves.
Well, this is Jeeves with a couple random arms attached to him.
It's in the look in the comments below, guys, for the space. You'll see these.
Yeah.
He's like he's acting like he's all disappointed that he's forced to do this, but this is the happiest moment. He's so happy.
This is all I do. I get paid at work to make Jeeves memes.
While he's got students in the background.
Yeah. Like, hey guys, check this out. Is this good?
Wait, I didn't see it yet. Did you post it?
I did.
Where
17
is it?
seconds ago.
Oh, I see
Oh,
it now. Okay, it's like in the middle for some reason.
yeah, that's a
It's
good one.
so good. So
Yeah.
good. That was spawned because of the extra arm guest. That's why that one was came
Oh,
about.
this one's a great one too. I'll put this one up.
Alma, check it out. Check out the Jeeves memes in the chat.
Yeah, this is a video of James.
Everybody, not just Alma. Anyone who
Yeah,
hasn't seen Jeeves memes, they're a
Oh my
brand.
God, no.
Okay.
Jeeves wearing his own shirt.
Jeeves wearing his own shirt. I love it. Oh my
Jeeves
gosh.
the badass.
Does anyone else want to come up to speak before we wrap this up tonight too? Anyone else want to say anything about how much they love Jeeves merch?
Jeeves
Jeeves
merch.
merch. There we go.
Look at the
George,
video. That was the best.
the video.
Yeah, I put it in the.
Oh yes, I see it. See, that's the best part. That's why Jeeves is so awesome because Jeeves is such a calm, Zen Bitcoiner, and when he gets upset or when you get him to swear, it's just legendary. That's
hmm
why it's so awesome because you have to do a pretty good amount to like piss him off, right, Jeeves?
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It gets,
Well, look
yeah.
at your profile picture. You're like Zen. You're like super Zen,
Yes,
you
that's
know?
the usual. But yeah, I can really get angry as well if I
I
have
just
to.
I just bet your
The only
fuse
thing is,
is
I
probably a lot
I
longer than most of us.
yeah, the only thing I would say is I wouldn't be angry with a person for something he or she has done. I'd be angry with what the thing is, not the person. That's probably one of the things that we have to kind of keep in mind. When we say angry, it means it's about what that person is doing, not what the person is, because people can change and transform themselves. So we have to always give them that grace. But yeah,
Yeah, get past their childhood trauma and all that stuff.
yeah. So the anger is a useful tool when used in the right way. It's a tool,
Hmm.
and it's a form of expression that people think that, oh, you shouldn't be angry. And I mean, yeah, if you're trying to like self-actualize and kind of transcend this planet, yeah, sure, right, go ahead. That's great. It works wonders. But while you're here in the matrix, don't let the feeling of, oh, I shouldn't be angry, be the reason for complacency. So sometimes like
Yes.
anger is good, and it is for
Yes.
you to not be complacent about things. And just watch what happened with Nepal from the past 2 days, right? People got pissed off
Mhm.
with their government, and they burned the parliament. It's insane to
Oh
watch.
my goodness. I didn't
Um,
see that. You need to
oh
share
my God,
news with me. I don't see news.
Broon Biddy just shared um, a couple of minutes ago. He actually did while I was in these spaces. Uh, it's incredible the things that are happening in a place like
Well,
Nepal.
it's crazy because
People are just tired
yeah,
of being used.
that's what I was gonna say. That's what it comes down to. When you see news like this, you're not like, whoa, like the reason you're seeing it and you're thinking like how bad things are getting is because you realize that people are just sick of it. They're getting sick of it all over the world and you see things looking like they're crumbling. Does
Well,
Bitcoin cousin want to speak again or pleb, or whoever wants to speak again? We got about maybe 10 minutes left. I don't want to cut it like
as
exactly at the
as
time.
I was going to say one thing I will say about that, and them storming the parliament, setting it on fire. I did read. I mean, I kind of agree, and it is understandable. But I did read a little bit earlier tonight that one of the politicians' wives was killed, I think, by a mob that turned up to their house, which I thought was a bit sad. I mean,
Yeah,
that's making it a bit too far.
right. I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
yep.
It's like,
That's
go
the
ahead.
problem with violence. That's the reason why it has to be used as a tool, but not to the point that
Yeah.
everybody's life is at stake. Like that shouldn't be the reason for kind of fueling the fire. You really do have to be vigilant of, like, when you question everything, it's not question everything outside of you. Question sometimes your own self, how you're going, right? Yeah, which direction you're going. So that's important as well.
Maintain pretty soon, I can tell you that.
Yep.
And Killer B, you want to say anything else, or you want to have anybody else come up maybe before we
I know
finish it up for the night?
Cousin came up.
Yeah, cousin.
No, I don't have anything super important. I
We're all in suspense.
I appreciate it, but
Would you? Because I'm probably gonna have to do the spot ad again tonight for the 9 p.m. So would you do the spot for Flug'em?
Please,
of course,
can you?
Yes.
Sure. So there's this really cool gum company starting up, and the cool thing about it is when somebody's ruining your vibe, you're just able to give them a stick of Fug'em. It's called Fug'em because it's FU gum, and it started on the fact that people can bring you down, and sometimes you just need to chill and relax, and take yourself out of the situation. And instead of chewing them out, you can just chew your gum, and maybe keep yourself out of a little trouble. Or you can give them a little subtle FU with some FU gum. So they will proudly support or probably accept Bitcoin because FU gum accepts FU money.
That's perfect. That's the slogan. That's so good.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I thought George was gonna say something then he stopped. That was so good. So well done. I screen recorded that just to make sure in case my entire space deletes. I just wanted to make sure I get the Fug'em commercial.
Can we end on teaching me something? Because these that where you click and select like a thumbs up or 100% or laughing face or whatever it is. My heart, when I select it, is purple.
Are you on a PC?
Yeah.
You cannot change it on PC. I just recently learned that. Only on mobile. Yes, that's why.
So I'm stuck with a purple
You're
heart.
stuck if you're on PC. Yeah. I taught you something.
Nothing
We
wrong
did
with
it.
a purple heart. It's okay. Having a purple heart is good.
Yeah.
Orange heart's better.
Yeah, I tried to change it so many times, and then I finally ChatGPT'd it. I was like, why can't I not do this? It said only on mobile.
Yes.
So for anyone else wondering, yeah, I don't know. They need to change that. I also wonder, a little closing thought, I wonder if there will be any sort of capability soon to run a node from our phones. Wouldn't that be awesome?
There is the newest iPhone. I guess you can get it in the color orange, and the Ultra Pro Super Saiyan Max, the top tier iPhone, does hold about 2 terabytes. Just saying.
So you could do.
Could be
So
some
you're
signal there.
saying there's a chance.
So you're saying we can mine Bitcoin on our phone?
I didn't say that. I said you could mine off of the node on your phone, perhaps. I don't know. The future is bright, man.
I said that, so you're saying there's a chance for George to realize I was quoting one of his favorite movies.
That's one of your favorites, George?
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of favorite movies, but that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't get that wrong. I'm like, I hope I
while.
didn't just say that, and he's totally not one of his favorites.
Hey,
what are you talking about? I hate that movie.
Hey, are those your skis?
Oh, yeah.
I said, are those your skis?
Well, my favorite part for like relating to Bitcoin is the IOUs. He's like, those are as good as money. Those are IOUs.
You're gonna want to keep this one.
The best part in that entire movie, the very best part is when they get off the stupid little moped and he's been freezing forever and he pulls out, he goes, yeah, it takes some extra gloves, and he's like, yeah, I get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
Yeah.
I still
good.
quote anytime I see anybody drinking a 7-Eleven drink. I always go, "Big gulp, huh, guys? All right, have a good day," and I just walk away.
I just love when they walk in with those suits because they're dressing
Yeah.
nice.
Oh God, I was that for Halloween one year.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know everything about him, I guess.
I know, not everything. I fixed Jeeves's profile picture, by the way, in the chat. If you guys want to take a look at that.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. Just put a little spin on it, just in case he wants to change it.
Oh my
But
Jeez, you just change your
that's
profile
awesome.
picture.
Oh my god.
Lose your check mark for a day. It's worth it.
Oh my god, that is great. And he's wearing this.
I was literally trying to zoom in. I thought he was just his fingers. I was like, is he flicking someone off? And then I like saw the shirt as an after effect. Like I didn't notice. I'm always pretty slow. George likes to test me on memes. He likes to show me videos or memes, tell them how bad I am.
she's so bad. She's like a cave person when it comes to like stuff that is current. What was it yesterday that I'm like, you didn't know this? I forgot what it was, but it was like
A
something that's been
watermelon
out. What?
thing. It was that watermelon where they put the rubber
Oh
band. Our
yeah,
kids were
where
watching
like
it.
for years they've been putting rubber bands around watermelons to see them explode. And she goes, "What is this?" Like it was something brand new that she's never heard of. And I'm like, this
Like
shit's been on like the internet for like years.
yeah, I was like, is this the new thing that people are doing now? And he's like,
Yeah.
where have you been?
Like, calm down, mom.
Yeah. I never know anything new. I tell him, where do you get all
Everything.
your viral stuff from? I only know the Bitcoin stuff.
She thinks there's a special website for viral stuff.
Yeah,
That's
because
why,
whenever he's around his friends, they're always like, did you see this video? And they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that one. I'm like, I don't
yeah,
see any of those ever. I don't know what the new thing everyone's talking about is. Like,
yeah.
Where do I
Unless
go for the viral stuff?
right?
yeah,
I go,
the
where's the
Bitcoin Army chat.
notifications?
I think for the
You
viral
go to
stuff,
the
they
king of
did that through
memes.
COVID.
You go to George.
You missed it.
What'd you say, Killer Bee?
Is it you go to George? Because he's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess. When he
King
shares them with
George of the
me.
memes.
Yeah.
I have to share
And
them to her X account though. She doesn't check
But then
anything else.
he shows me a meme and then he'll have me look at it and then he looks at my expression to see if I understand it. And he likes
And
to
it's
see how long
blank.
it
And
takes
she
me.
gives a fake laugh.
He's high
It's the
key
best.
judging you.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got to try to
He
keep her
knows
sharp.
he knows my fake laugh. He could tell if I'm pretending to laugh at it because I don't get it yet. And he's like, it's so simple. I'm like trying to see, that's the paranoid part of me. I'm looking for deeper meaning and it's like so obvious. And I'm trying to figure out what they're really trying to say about it or I think it's more
It's
like
like
when you
clear.
grade
show
8 English class. It's like when the
Yeah,
book author is just like the curtain is blue. It's like all these grade 8 English students are trying to figure out the deeper meaning behind a blue curtain. Meanwhile, the author is just like, no, it's just blue.
Yeah, exactly. George is like, it's so simple.
It is.
How are you?
It's hilarious that the same thing that happens with the road not taken by Robert Frost. When you go back, people have written like essays about it, and when you ask the man, he actually said it's just like he's taken the other road because it existed. Like there's nothing big about that poem. Like everybody made it big deal, right? It wasn't really
That would
something
be
that he really
me.
meant. Yeah, Robert Frost really
I would be
meant
looking for meaning.
it to be obvious.
Stacy
Sounds
with
like what
memes is like
Satoshi did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stacy with memes is like an immigrant mom when you show them a meme and they go, "Who is that?"
Oh my God. Don't,
Yeah,
I
dude,
think
I can
I've done
relate.
that
My immigrant
before.
mom is right here and she doesn't understand any memes.
yeah. We should show Jesus' picture to your mom and see if how she reacts to it.
She's not going to understand. Let's not do that.
She's gonna ask who is that. She will.
Who is that? Be like, oh, you know.
But
That
I
looks
could
like
be
a nice young man.
Why is he telling
Very nice
Shinobi to
boy.
fuck
Why do you
you?
not like him? Why?
I heard he plays an instrument and sings. What do you do? Get the guilt.
I should post on Twitter.
This is fucking amazing.
But yeah,
Oh my god.
I lost my blue check mark for you, George.
No,
You
you
did?
didn't.
No
No,
fucking
you
way.
didn't.
You
Oh
did
my
it.
God.
You did
No, you
it.
didn't.
Stop it. He did it. He did it.
You did
What a
it.
legend.
Oh my god, this
Jesus
is
Christ.
amazing.
Jesus Christ.
I've recorded this moment.
That's amazing.
This is
Or
legendary.
what you could say is Jeeves is Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Yeah, that'd be too much.
Jesus H. Christ.
I'm afraid I'm cackling when I hear this back, speaking of our own voices.
All right. You'll be okay. You could just put a chicken in the place of your voice.
We're getting
Yeah.
we're getting close to Halloween, so cackling is acceptable.
Oh yeah.
Who did
Cackling
that?
is
Who
that-
did the way?
Journey.
Journey?
Journey, yeah.
Awesome.
You know what? I wanted to ask bro. Oh no.
Okay, Almo's was better.
That was great.
Yeah, I prefer organic chickens. Yeah, I wanted to ask bro about he was talking about like candy, bro, like Bitcoin candy for Halloween. I think that'd be really awesome.
Oh yes. Who does that?
Well, it would
We
taste
get,
like
like-
oranges, though, right?
We would get like two. Yeah, probably.
Mr. Twit. He was in here before. He was the dude who knew about
Yes,
your dirty little Fortnite secret.
Yeah, it's not dirty. Everyone knows about my secret. It's not.
What's that?
That's Fortnite secret. The guy that came. I'm gonna find him.
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
was
ask him.
That's where
Yeah.
Stacy first learned her editing skills.
Yeah, I used to post Fortnite
Nice.
/ Bitcoin videos. Like I would use my Fortnite avatars to make Bitcoin videos, and nobody ever saw them. It was just
It would
George.
literally be us talking shit to Stacy for like staring at a wall because she was just looking at the details.
Oh my
on the wall.
god, that's how we should do the spaces skits, the cuts. You should do it that way.
I could. Oh, you're right. What a great
Yeah.
idea! Holy crap! Because there's so many emotes I could use to.
I need to be the CEO of Geniusism or something. That's my role in the
Tying it back to
Bitcoin
my origins.
Genius thing.
Geniusism. I just had to pipe. I've never heard such a wonderful word. That's
Yes.
Oh no, I'll be
Geniusism.
inventing words until I die. That's the thing I do.
It's awesome.
I need to take notes because I'll forget this as soon as the space ends. So I have to contact him about the candy and about the Fortnite clips that I'm gonna make with our spaces clips. Awesome.
The candy is a great idea. Honestly, the candy's an excellent idea.
Yes,
Hey,
but
Alma.
we do.
Alma, can you say, but wait, there's more?
But wait, there's more.
That's awesome.
This sounds like you have the perfect infomercial voice.
George
Like
has
Billy
a
Mays.
sneaky weird.
Oh,
he has a sneaky weird obsession with infomercials. George does.
Oh,
also,
there's no
by the way.
sneaky weird. It's immigrant parents not having cable, so that's the only thing that goes on.
Infomercials.
He
Oh
makes
my
me
gosh.
watch them.
Like,
he makes me watch old
like the
ones.
ShamWow
He made me
guy.
watch an old
I
one.
had
the
to
other
watch the
day.
Rampu Peel pasta maker with my daughter, and they were
The
both
whole
waiting
thing.
for me
I
to
was
take
getting
them off.
anxiety. I had an anxiety
What
attack.
about the slap chop?
Oh yeah, that guy's crazy. But
You seen slap chop?
Rampu Peel, I go old school.
What about the
Time,
Oh, the Floby,
time check,
yeah.
right?
What about the Floby? Remember
Yes.
the Floby from
The Floby.
That's what
Hey,
Stacy
listen, guys.
uses.
I'm gonna
with
go to
her
the
hair.
Wandering Road. See you guys.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
wandering.
okay,
Yeah,
we got
time
Bye,
check.
guys.
we gotta finish up. This was so
Gotta
amazing.
shut
We
it
gotta
down,
head
open
over
us up.
there. That was the best legendary. Oh my god, every single part of this was amazing. Thank you everybody for doing this. Let's go over to the Wandering Road. I keep seeing I can't like pause.
You did it again.
And let's all like congratulate Jeeves over there for his new profile picture. So thank you everybody for
Hey.
joining. Take care.
He's a
Have a good
legend.
night. Bye everyone.